This episode is brought to you by John Blake Sales Breakthrough Solutions, helping you to at least double the amount of leads that you get that convert into paying clients.
Welcome to the Master Dealmaker's Secrets podcast. And now, here's sales growth strategist, John Blake.
Welcome to Master Dealmaker's Secrets. I'm John Blake. This is episode 173, and today we are going to be talking about what happens when bad things happen to good salespeople. So this is a story. This is a what would you call it? This is a precautionary tale. That's what it is. So how to avoid what happened to my friend who I'm going to be talking about. So really looking forward to be able to share this with you. I think it's a really, really good example that we can all learn a stack from. But before we do that, if you've got leads that you want to convert into paying clients, people that you've spoken to, that you've made an offer to, but they haven't bought yet and they haven't said no, I want you to head over to johnblakeaudio.com. What you'll grab there is my 15-minute audio, and there's also a PDF. So what this is going to allow you to do, it's going to allow you to double the sales that you are currently getting with people in your existing pipeline. These are people that you've spoken to that haven't bought yet. It shows you exactly when to call, exactly when to email over a 90-day period in a way that's professional and proactive but won't piss people off. I've been using this and refining it. I didn't learn it from anywhere. I had to do it. I had to make this up myself. It's my proprietary system, and you can get it for free at johnblakeaudio.com. It will allow you to know exactly when to call, exactly when to email, exactly what to say in your voicemails when you leave a voicemail for someone, exactly what to write in your emails over a 90-day period. And it is a really simple and elegant way that you can use to find hidden money in your pipeline. johnblakeaudio.com. Go grab it, put it into practice, let me know how you go with it. Okay, right. So the story. So to give you a bit of background, so the guy that that I'm going to be talking about here, he's actually a Canadian guy. We'll just call him Dave, and a great fellow. I've known him for a long time. Has been in personal development and has been in a lot of different sales roles. He's been in consulting, done a lot of stuff. Really experienced guy. And at the time when this happened, he was in recruiting. And so in recruiting, especially in WA, the gold standard, the perfect type clients are in either mining or oil and gas, because they literally employ hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, and they constantly need hundreds and hundreds of people to be able to operate their businesses. So this guy done a fantastic job of getting in front of a key decision maker in a big mining company. And so he's finally got his meeting and he gets in there. And to give you a little bit more of a background, he's done a lot of personal development. He's done heaps of sales training. He learned from all of the greats in terms of sales training. So he's got a heap of knowledge in terms of sales and sales process and all the rest of it. And so he's taking this guy through his process and he's using, he's just pulling out all the stops, using all his strategies and stuff. A lot of people who listen to the podcast want to know what we do over at Master Dealmaker Secrets. And effectively what we do is we work with sales professionals and business owners all over the world who are seeing massive increases in their top line sales revenue. So we help business owners and sales professionals to effectively focus on the three key drivers to growing sales revenue in your business. The first one is controlling the message that you send out into the marketplace so that potential clients see and hear and read what you do as an opportunity as opposed to your competitors. The second thing that we do is we help you to create a direct path to the 20% of your ideal clients that will deliver 80% of the revenue. So everyone knows the 80-20 rule. We help you to develop a direct path to the 20% of the people that are going to give you 80% of your sales revenue in your business. And the third thing that we allow you to do, that we create a process for, is for you to be able to double the amount of leads that you get that convert into paying clients. So if this is of interest, we do have an application-only process to become involved in this particular program. And to get to there, all you need to do is to go to www.johnblakescall.com. So it's JOHNBLAKESCALL.com, and there's a couple of questions to answer there, and then what you'll do is get on a quick conversation with me, and I can find out a little bit more about what you've got going on in your business and see potentially whether what you are doing would be a fit for what we could help you with. And at that point, I can extend an invitation if it's a fit, and you can make the choice to come on board or not. So that's the opportunity. That would be the next step if you're looking at how you can take things to the next level. If you're enjoying what you're hearing on the podcast, if you're getting value from it, I invite you to do that, and I will look forward to talking to you. The website is www.johnblakescall.com. Talk to you soon. And he gets to a point where this guy basically just says, look, Dave, mate, I'm going to stop you there. He's like, what? He goes, mate, all that American stuff, that rah-rah sales stuff, it's just not going to work. It's not going to work. I'm just going to have to shut you down there, mate. He goes, I like you. I want to work with you, but if you're going to keep carrying on like this, it's not going to work. And so Dave is just like, it's just sat him on his bum. You know, like he's literally gone from being in full flight to sitting on his bum. And so it was such an eye-opener for him because, you know, it's not often that you get feedback like that from a potential client. You know, normally they just wouldn't do business with you and you'd never hear from them again. But he, you know, had this experience where this guy's basically said to him, look, you know, you got to stop that stuff, you know, let's just have a conversation. So there's a couple of key things that I think that we can learn from this so that you can avoid what happened to Dave happening to you. The first one is process should, connecting to the person, reading the person should never play second fiddle to process, right? So the moment you put more focus on your process than connecting with the person and reading the person, you know, we are in this, you know, great salespeople are great at reading people. It's like if you can't get a read on the person that you're talking to, then the process isn't going to work anyway. So your number one focus should be to connect and read the person, right? And then obviously you need to have a professional structure that you take them through that has the high likelihood of them actually saying yes at the end of it. So never ever make process more important than connecting with the person. The second one is it needs to be conversational. This needs to be a conversation. The moment it sounds too stilted and too manufactured, it's not going to work. So I have had situations where I'm dealing with people and I'll have an understanding of how educated they are in terms of sales. You know, most people are pretty well educated in terms of sales. So if I use something that's too common or too mainstream, then the person knows what I'm doing, then you've kind of lost it. You know, it's like a strategy known is a strategy blown. And so being able to be more conversational is such an important thing, and you may need to tailor your approach to suit different situations. But really, the second point really harks back to the first point, which is you need to be able to actually read the person, and also being able to read the person has a lot to do with doing some research about that person. Looking at where they've worked, if they've worked at a particular place, they might have that particular company might have a really extensive sales training program. So understanding all of that is such an important part. So I hope this helps. I hope this helps you avoid what happened to Dave. And as always, thank you for listening, and I will look forward to talking to you on the next podcast. Cheers.
You've been listening to Master Dealmaker Secrets with John Blake. Subscribe to get more in-depth strategies and maximize your sales process with new episodes every other week. and double your inquiry to sale conversion with the lead flow you already have. Go to johnblakeaudio.com for his exclusive, free, no fluff audio training and companion PDF guide.